So, welcome to our Learn blog podcast that we're putting together, and we're just kind of surveying teachers that we've been working with over the last, handful of years. And one of those teachers is Jennifer Oner, who is a grade 1 teacher at Westmount Park of the English Montreal School Board. And since March 13th, you all know our schools have been closed and we've had to shift over to this online learning. And I had the great opportunity of attending one of Jen's classes to kind of just get a sneak preview of how it's all going, and also to play around with, to do an activity with her students as well. So welcome, Jen, to this Learn Quebec blog post.
Thank you.
I'm really super happy that you had some time to come and share some of your ideas with today. So,
thank you so much for inviting me too.
Oh, it's a great pleasure. How are you doing anyway? How are you feeling?
Oh, really good.
Excellent. So let's just jump right in. I have a series of questions for you, and I'm sure that your answers are really going to help the teachers out there going through the transition that we're all going through at the time of this face-to-face to online. So let's just talk about that to start off. What were your greatest challenges when you went from the face-to-face teaching in your classroom to all of a sudden you're teaching all of your grade 1s online? What was that transition like?
So I was lucky. For me, it went really smoothly. I was really thankful to my school administration and my school board. They gave us so much support, and the parents of my students were really supportive as well. They were on board. They put so much effort into helping their kids get used to the technology. And since I teach very young students, I know that the parents played a huge role in helping the students with the technology and the assignments. So I'm very grateful to them. The greatest challenge was probably that we were all getting used to our new communication medium. So for example, using the buttons for muting and unmuting ourselves, screen sharing tools, and remote control features was something that we learned together. However, the students caught on very quickly, so these challenges were overcome easily.
And walk us through a day in the life. So I come into Miss Jennifer's classroom, and what is it? What do we do? What's a day in the life in a classroom for a student?
So I think it's important to always start the day by saying good morning to the students and by showing them the schedule of what you're doing that day. So when we're at school, it's really important that we always acknowledge the students and say good morning to them. So the same type of things apply online. And students are always interested to know what they're going to be doing. So the first thing that I do is always show them a schedule of what we're doing, and we talk a little bit about the rules. Then we have some reading and writing activities that involve stories and different screen sharing, different games. Then we have a little break, so it's important to give the kids a break. And then we do a little bit of math, and we're able to play some math games together. And sometimes we have a special guest who joins us for our STEAM challenges, which is a lot of fun. And we do some movement activities. Sometimes we have some specialists for phys ed or for music who join us for the class. And then we say goodbye for the day, and the kids have some optional assignments that they can work on at home.
Wow. You get a ton done, in quite a little bit of time.
Yes, we have a lot of activities to do, and the kids, they like it when, there's always something new coming up. So we're able to really get a lot done together.
And Jen, talk to me a little bit. I imagine fitting all of that into a small amount of time, you definitely need to have a good pacing that goes on. Can you talk a little bit about how you go about pacing your lesson?
So when I'm putting together the lesson, I always take a look at how long I think that things are going to take. So I estimate that something will take about 5 minutes, because since I teach young children, it's good to have little 5 minutes chunks of activities to make sure that you're keeping their attention. So I always take a look at the amount of time that I have and the amount of activities that I could fit into that time. So it usually works out pretty well, and we end up finishing right on time, and the kids are happy. So I've been really fortunate with that.
That's great. Yeah, when I came into your class the first time, they were doing some dancing and some kind of wellness kind of things, right? Just to kind of stop the learning for a bit, stop the school content, and just kind of, you had some dancing and moving that was happening, which they seemed to really get a kick out of watching each other.
Yeah, yeah, the dancing and movement is great, and the phys ed teachers have been great with movement activities. And our school board also has the spiritual and community animators, which have been providing capsules and coming into our classes. So they've also been really great for the students' social and emotional learning.
So that's actually a lead into the next question I had for you. What kind of support are you getting from the school board? So you have your physical ed teachers that will come and suggest activities for you to do. What other support are you getting from the school board?
So right now we're getting so much support from our school board. So our school administration is making all the schedules for us. They're communicating with the parents, all of the information that they need in order to join the online classes. The school board is offering so many professional development opportunities right now. So they're offering so many webinars and so many tutorials, things that we could do online. I think it's really important right now to take advantage of all of those professional development opportunities that are being offered by the school board, because we'll use these tools not only now, but even when we're back face to face in our physical class, able to use everything. So I'm so grateful for all the professional development that they're giving us right now, because I think we all feel so supported.
Yeah, I noticed that a lot of the consultants and the support and the administration are really pushing. They're working their tails off just to support the teachers and keep school going. I mean, we know the regularity, the routine that kids need is super important.
Yes.
So you keep leading me to my next question, which is really sweet. What's your physical setup when you go into class? So what are you surrounded by, and what tools do you have at your fingertips to use? And what's your physical setup that you have?
Yeah, so sometimes I go into work at the school, and sometimes I teach my classes from home. So at the school, I have, all of my regular things that I have in my classroom, but I brought some things to my home so that I have a few things in the background that the kids are used to seeing at school. And I have little Lego blocks with all of their names. So if I'm choosing somebody to answer a problem, I could choose that way. So the most important thing to obviously have is your laptop. So most of things are on there, but it's nice for the kids to see a few things that they remember from the physical classroom as well.
Right. And are the students using a portal of some kind, or a way that you send them stuff, or is it too young of a grade for them to have to deal with Google Drives or Meets or all those different kinds of tools?
Yeah, so right now, the principal's sending all the emails to the parents, and I use Class Dojo in order to communicate with the parents, so I'm able to communicate with them at any time of day.
That's great. And I imagine the parents are getting involved with when their child's online. Do some of the parents get involved and support their child as they're going through?
Yeah, it's really wonderful. So the parents are always in touch with me to schedule some individual meetings sometimes for me and their children, so that I could listen to them read or play a game together, or just to meet with them to say hello. And I know that the parents are always there to make sure that the kids can be able to work with their technology. So I'm really grateful to them for all of their support.
So let's do the flip side. What are your resources and apps and websites, all the online resources? So what's your setup online? What are some of your go-tos that you just... Classroom Dojo for sure is a great one for communication and kind of motivating kids. What are some other of the resources you use?
So I've been attending a lot of the webinars that have been offered by the school board, and I've learned about some really great resources that I didn't know about before. So one of my favorite ones is called flippity.net, which I heard about recently in a webinar. So when you go on flippity.net, you can use the site to quickly create any type of fun games, quizzes, flashcards. So you just have to make a Google spreadsheet, and then the website will turn it into a game for you. So my kids have really enjoyed playing those games. I also recently took a webinar about ThingLink EDU.
Right.
So ThingLink EDU lets you organize all of your links into one place. So before I started using ThingLink, I had to open all the windows that I would need during class. But now that I started using ThingLink, you could put all of your links into one document. So I just have to open one document, and everything's there that I'm going to need for the day in class. So it definitely saves me time by letting me open all of my links in one document.
Yep.
I also recently took a workshop at Minecraft EDU. I've been attending a series of workshops. So the newest project I'm working on is using Minecraft EDU to introduce math challenges to the students. My students love Minecraft, so finding and solving problems in a Minecraft world makes learning math even more fun for them.
Absolutely. Wow. Yeah, I'm starting to look to this Minecraft games that kids gravitate towards, and how can you harness the educational components of it. It's super fun for them because you're going to get the engagement, right? That's going to happen. But can we put some stuff in there that they need to kind of remember, some vocabulary, words, math concepts, etc. That's wonderful.
Yeah.
So Jen, my final question for you. I am a teacher ready to go online. What are some pieces of advice that you would give me as a first? I've never been online. What's some advice you could share with?
Yeah, so my biggest piece of advice would be to encourage teachers to attend as many of the professional development opportunities as you can right now, because right now there's so much going on and there's so much you could learn from all of the webinars and tutorials that they're offering. That's how I found out about all the tools that we were talking about today. So it's a great idea to take advantage of it. Also, I know that it's important when you see the students online to make sure that, you say hello to them, you acknowledge them. One of the tutorials mentioned that it's really important to look into the camera lens. So that's something that I'm working on, because you're always have the time to look at the person, but they said that it makes a more personal connection to look into the camera lens. So I'm really working hard on that right now.
That's awesome. It's important though, eh? These little things make all the difference, right? Similar to like when you're trying to get a student to participate in pulling names out of, like having these things at your availability, like facilitate it pretty, right?
Yeah.
And finally, what do the students think? I mean, these are grade 1 students, right? So how have they been adapting to this transition that we've been going through as well? What are some of the feedback that you get from them?
Yeah, so I think the students are doing really well. I think they're really enjoying it. I'm sure they're very happy to be able to see their friends and see their teachers. They tend to adapt to things quickly. So I think they really are enjoying trying out different features of online learning. Of course, sometimes there's a few occasional hiccups, like if a connection is lost or website's down. But I think it's important to model the fact that the small things do happen and try not to get too flustered or upset by it. So I think that overall they're doing well and enjoying it.
Well, I want to thank you, Jennifer, for your time today and your words. They are valuable to me, and I'm sure they'll be valuable to many other educators out there in Quebec on this shutdown time, as we call it, the COVID-19 online experiment that we're going through. I just want to wish you all the best, and be safe, be well, and thank you so much for spending some time with us today.
Thank you so much.
Take care.
Bye.
Peace.